E from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. It's about 11:15 on the 2nd of April, 2019. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Well, we've had a little bit of a breakdown, and we had suggested perhaps 62 was the target that they would be looking at next. Anybody into the 62s, got to move your stops down. If you were late, especially if you were sidelined, said, okay, maybe we can get a couple points this way. If you sense that this was breaking down and headed to test 62s to 61s, then you grab something on, and the first penetration, you don't look for a 10-point plunge. You look to kind of get into that 64 to 61 area as your target zone. And the high odds target 62, 62 and a half. And if you're reading the pattern as I was showing you, we had started to make this lower low and a lower high pattern, and that kind of indicated a possibility to come back a little bit deeper. And again, not with the idea of thinking that this is a plunge, but simply a regression type trade. And so, yeah, this is now, we can see resistance. This was our fighting, and this is our support box being challenged. And so if you want to make that distinction in your mind, say, fine, this is our fighting range right now. That's our resistance. And those will flip-flop and change throughout the day, but at least this way you can understand the three-box system. And the model broke up here from the pipe. Resistance still back here, 76, 78. And we're coming down to test support in that 61 to 62 area. Big move the last few days, and right now the market's taking a breather. Market's just tired, just trying to find support. Go back to the day's range. And now we need new settings. So currently our support zone trying to hold. Currently the pipe at 66, all important 66. And obviously our resistance back here. I still say fairly neutral. This was a great drive right here. Remember Brian was saying NQ was hitting the new highs, and I said I'm still thinking fairly neutral, partly because of the range that we've gone. And anybody that is trying to buy 58 stop, I'm assuming the support zone today is 58 to 62. Two-minute chart. And now theoretically we have a high to low, so you have the right to hit it one more time. If you choose to. And a reminder, the goal is to get your 4 or 5 points per day per contract, even 2. You got 2 points per day per contract. because you can scale it. We're at the bottom of yesterday's pipe RTH. Still an inside day. And the primary trade will be ending fairly soon. So this is a knock stops out on all of the longs, and anybody that was long side trying to play on yesterday's tailwinds, you got to buy again if you want it, or average in if that's your game. Said you only should do it one time if you're scaling in. If it doesn't work, take your uncle point. Anybody that tried to buy back here in the 62s, remember 62 and a quarter was target one today. You're trying to buy this for the bounce. Make sure as you get to 66 to 67, you get paid something, trailers above. And I've got the middle at 68. And we're relying on that 58 zone right below us as key support today. If you're looking at yesterday's range, RTH, we're down here at the bottom of the pipe. Day opened area 68 and a half. Good trade. Anybody took the reactionary trade, figuring that this would be a soft landing. Great trade. And sometimes you can't catch both unless you're super fast, one of the gamers. So sometimes you're saying, you know what, I don't want to chase it, but I do want to try a buy. And that's valid on a day like today after yesterday. Everybody else is thinking plunge, and you're just thinking, okay, they're going to test this 62 support zone. Pressure today has been one tick, double top high, come back in and test the bottom of the pipe. 2-day range, suggesting that this is our support. Remember I said that earlier, we're going to keep an eye on this. This is going to be considered our important support. And unfortunately, a small range to work with today so far, but part of that was stolen range from yesterday, just the way it is. This was our previous angel. It's been knocked out, but we've reset, interestingly, at 66. So this was a knockout stops and bounce so far. And this was yesterday's important support zone. Volume seems light again today. Demon, we have not had to move. Angel, we've had to move. I'm thinking perhaps shake and bake, but we'll see. And shake and bake is where they run stops and then they'll float it back up by the end of the day. And note where they'd set the open for today, how that's become very important. Said today, be careful being a chaser. We've come a long way. Still doesn't mean we're bearish. Finding a little bit deeper support. We're allowing moving averages to catch up. What would surprise me today is taking out yesterday's RTH low. That was 56. So I've suggested a couple points ahead of that for support. So far, we've got an RTH range of 10 points. I'd suggested that perhaps because of the big differential yesterday in the range, remember we talked about that, the differential in points for RTH, about 17 to 18 points, and about 29 to 34 points for Globex. That sometimes that wants to get equalized. You want to bring that into better balance, and you do that by coming back a bit. And I don't consider this to be reflective of, a huge fix of that differential, but it's a start. Because we're almost double yesterday the range for Globex to, in terms of the ratio to RTH. So it does make sense to get a little bit deeper pullback today and still not be bearish. That's the point I'm emphasizing, is it still doesn't mean it's bearish. Just backing and filling. Your third time through trade on the break was back here at 68. So there's a retest. Good possibility low is in right now. Or already back to the top of the pipe. 67, 68, I said, paid for sure. Above that, good fortune. Both sides have had reasonable opportunity. If you like the long side, you got a chance to buy at a much better odds area. And if you like the short today, you still had a reasonable trade coming south side to come in and test that 65 to 62 region. Range trade still inside day. And the key today, obviously, again, we're remarking about 66. And we are remarking about yesterday's high. Those are all important ideas. And I suggested we may get afternoon after trend day, which basically allows the moving averages time to catch up. But too early to tell. We'll see.